In this tutorial, we're going to have a quick look at how to lay out the floor plan of our classroom. Okay, so by now we've taken our measurements. You should have a rough drawing with your dimensions. You've got a couple of options. You can draw a couple of rectangles to recreate the shape. However, the easiest option that I like to use is using the line tool or the pencil tool and to draw our lines. Okay, so I'm going to start with the back line of my classroom. So I'm going to click to draw. Okay, now I'm going to again tell SketchUp what numbers to use. Now in our case, the classroom is approximately 36 feet. Keep an eye on the bottom right hand corner where the length of the line is and 5 inches. Have a look at those symbols. So that first one is 36 feet and then 5 inches. And then I can press enter. Now what that's done is it's drawn this line, and that line is 36 feet 5 inches. So now I'm going to head back as if I'm moving towards the facts classroom. And I know that this one is approximately 29 feet. I'm going to say 4 inches. And then I'm going to press enter. Now, one thing that we learned in a previous tutorial is we can now have a look at our scenes. Okay, so I'm going to do a bird's eye view, this center one here, and look straight down on top. This is going to help me visualize the rest of the classroom. Okay. Get rid of that panel. Now, the numbers I'm using here, I'm just making up to roughly go for speed so that you can measure your distances yourself and get that done accurately. So I'm just going to quickly finish up. You'll continue that process that we worked on, entering the exact dimensions. Okay. So here's a rough kind of representation of what the STEAM classroom looks like. Now, this is again just lines. These are not walls. So let's make it look like an actual wall. I'm going to use the offset tool that we used before. So I'm going to grab the offset tool. I'm going to select my surface, and this time I'm going to push slightly out. I want to go slightly past to give myself a border. You can do this and be really accurate. If you wanted to measure bricks, you could then be super accurate about the size of your walls. So now what I have is I now have a layout of the classroom with an approximate thickness of a wall, and if I push-pull this up, I can then push-pull up and create the classroom. Now, the last thing that we would have to do would be we could access doors. So I'll just put an approximation of where the door is there. I'll zoom in a little bit. Do an approximation of the door. Push-pull that away, and you can see we can start to recreate our classroom with our doors. We can use this then for lots of things like layout, design, and just getting an idea of how things work in the classroom.